Alright, we're back. If you didn't catch the first game, you didn't miss much. Good morning everyone, my name is Rooster. This is the second round of the big January Gwent tournament. We're up against Foltest here for the second round. Going to throw away this first light. I'm thinking of keeping the Mardrum because we could be facing... I probably shouldn't keep two, right? I shouldn't keep the first light, actually. Let me think. I kinda just want to keep this. The Mardrum could be great if we're facing poor infantry, so I think this is okay. Let's see how we can do with this. Opponent is starting, which is good for us, alright. We can actually fight for this first round if he starts out with Gwentlemen, but I'm not sure about that. He could decoy our spy, but that's okay. What did we throw away? That's a good thing to wonder about. Ooh, that's not exactly what we wanted, but we'll make it work somehow. Bork is really odd. Especially for the very first turn. We could actually fight for this first round. I actually kind of don't want to. Depending on what he has here... Alright, this is curious. Okay, Redanian Elite means we're not likely to fight for infantry. So I think I'll throw in a long ship again, just to see if we can get another card out of him. I would like to get at least one more, I think. Otherwise his graveyard is really good right now, which I kind of don't want to. He could actually pass here, which is, yeah, maybe not ideal. Maybe I should have played a blank Shieldsmith, that feels really odd. I could actually make Donor smaller and make him nuke his own board. Is that worth it? I don't think that's even worth it. Let's just pass. If he wants to play an additional card, then that's fine with me. I'm not planning on going for the first round anyway, so I'm not really sure why Bork is here. But this does mean that he doesn't get to demote it. Unless he wants to spend an extra card, which is fine with me. You can actually use a medic and get Donor back now, which is curious. I don't know whether that's worth it. I don't think so. Using the medic is actually quite expensive. Alright. Oh, I shouldn't be all tapping out of the game. I'm just checking whether my opponent is saying anything, but that does mute the sound if I remember correctly. Opponent starts, we're 2 cards up. I'm feeling good here. We're 1 card up. No, we're still 2 cards up because our opponent started, so that's fine. Everything's okay. Resurrecting the spy there, not ideal, but we can go into Shroom Wars here. I don't mind a good Shroom War every once in a while. And here's where keeping the Shrooms is proving to be valuable. We're basically doing the poor infantry wars, except the other way around. If he shoots it, now he can get rid of it with Lacerate, so I think I'll just Shroom him again just to be sure. And we'll see how this goes. Double Shroom on Ockfist. Ties up the score nicely, so that's also pretty good. Ooh, that's... Oh, okay. I was thinking for a second. Oh, that's pretty bad for us. Oh, actually, does he have this last medic in hand? Ooh, okay, Merktobraki in his graveyard. Glad he didn't hit that. It shouldn't matter, right? Oh, you can actually resurrect that still. And I really want my Ockfist back, so let's buff it again. He had 2 shots there, so that's unfortunate, but we should be safe right now. I didn't see... Oh, the Merktebrake hit his graveyard because he reanimated Donar. That's interesting. Interesting how things like that can go. We do still have a... Okay, that is fine. Because he's damaged now, so he'll come back as a 7, I think. Do we still want to fight here? I do think so. He hasn't found his last elite yet, he hasn't used Foltest yet. I think he wants to fight. So Merktebrake alone isn't enough. So this is probably fine. And even if he expends a lot of stuff getting rid of Ogfist, then we're in an okay spot. Also, Ogfist being 7 is actually rather nice. It's a good spot because he's right below the long ships. So if we reanimate one of those right now,
her who is virgin, mother, and crone,
then Igni doesn't hit him. Merktebrake is quite good at setting up Ignis, so that is worth considering. It was also worth considering shrooming the Priscilla, which is not an awful idea at all. But keeping the shrooms for my Ogfist did prove to be quite valuable, I think. So no hard feelings about that promote. We're facing a new player, I think, but we're not going easy on him, because this is war, right? Not getting too much value. I think I want to spend one Scald. One Scald's probably fine. Don't want to spend the second one, since we actually may have a pretty big fight for the last round. And I should start considering... he still has 5 cards. It's not as... I don't think that's the one you want to promote, unless you're really scared about Coral, which I can't blame you for, of course. Getting an Ogfist tick on that one is actually meaningful, so I think I want to wait until Ogfist goes before I use Harald. Question remains, what do we do now? We don't have a lot of good stuff. We want to restore next turn. I don't want to Scald right now. I cannot Igni, I cannot Art, probably... I guess I'll use the Scald anyway. We have the Commander's Horn for the last round, so that's probably okay. And if we draw... Actually, we can restore Sigurd Rifa. So that's probably fine. And now he can start fishing for his final Redanian, so that's a thing. Opportunity to play Ogfist, but I don't think that's needed right now. I think we just Harald. He's used 4 medics, might have Neneke, might have Shani, might have Baron, but that's okay. Passes the second round, probably a good idea. And going into the last round, we're looking good still. Not sure whether Igni or Art are going to do anything, but we do have the Restore and the Caverna's Horn, so that should prove to be pretty good. As well as reanimating the Scald, which is really, really nice. I think we're looking good here, unless he's got a surprise Aeromancy or something. That could actually be a thing, but I can safely say we're looking pretty good here.
may modern Freya watch us and keep us.
I think. Let's not be overconfident, but
mother and crone.
This is pretty imposing, especially with the Commander's Horn in hand. Do be careful. No, we're actually fine. If Shani resurrects, then we're actually bringing Sigurd Rifa up to the level of the longship, which is concerning. So I should probably be careful with this. Reinforcement not gonna do anything right now because the other 2 Redanians are in his graveyard. That is unfortunate. I don't think Art is going to do anything this round, so let's just play him in the melee row. See what happens. I can't imagine what could go wrong here. Yeah, Alright, going into the second round. Let's send an invite again. And choosing monsters for round 2. I do like that idea. Mostly since I'm not confident about my own skill in the Scoia'tael versus Scoia'tael matchup. So that's why I'm not picking... I would be picking Scoia'tael if I... if I faced Scoia'tael in the first round. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Foglet, yes. I don't have to keep Fog if I have Woodland Spirit, so I can throw that one away. And Griffins are actually not that important in the Scoia'tael matchup, unless you really want to remove Aeromancy plus the weather generated by Aeromancy. So this is probably fine. He gets a start, which is also good for us, I think. Starting out with the Vanguard, alright. And stacking in the Siege Row, that is probably proper. Do we want to give him the first round? I don't hate that, but we should be worried about drawing any Wild Hunt Riders, which would be unfortunate. But playing the Wild Hunt Riders runs the risk of getting lacerated, which I also don't like. But the lacerate comes out right now, so usually they only run one, and if they want to glice for it, okay. So uses that on the melee row, which means that we can safely Wild Hunt Rider. That is probably correct, by the way. Oh, I could have actually marked the brackets there. Oh, Yavin. That's a really early one. Okay, so I think that means that we mark the Braki and kill the mercenary, because he might not have a commando, or he considers it really important to play the Yavin. He could have drawn into one right now. So let's just mark the Braki like this, and see if he has an answer. See if he has another mercenary, basically. Because that is why Mark Tabraki's in here. We might want to kill Olgierd at some point, but I don't think that time is right now. I'm thinking of thunderbolting the melee row here, which is normally a risky strat. Alternatively, we could Gaunter, or we could draw some cards. Frost is also not awful. That means that Gaunter likely kills him. I kinda like the Frost, I think. Decks like that don't run Igni though. So if he has the Frost himself, then that's even better for us. I could run into Art, but that's the risk of playing monsters right now. If he wants to buff his Olgierd, then that is absolutely fine with me. We don't have an easy way to kill that, but we could, if we Frost it here. I'm not sure I want to commit any more resources into this round, though. Actually, I kind of do want to keep playing this round, because I'm winning this one. But he doesn't have a lot of good options right now. We could just Aeromancy, but Aeromancy might be better reserved for the Siege Row at some point later during the game. Let's actually play Avalach at this point. Oh, actually, that's probably bad. I should not have done that, because this might just draw him into the last mercenary, which can chain into a lot of stuff, which I don't want to do right now. Exactly. That is how things go wrong. I should not have done that.
Dance of death!
I was thinking, since we're ahead by a decent amount, I could safely play Avalach here, but then stuff like this happens, of course. I still have a pretty good Frost on the melee row, though, so I should not be too worried. That's a really... Yes, that's probably correct to use that in the Siege row. 3 first lights in the bin, though, so I probably just want to Frost here, to be honest. That basically forces him to Aglaïs, if he has her, to protect his Olgierd. Otherwise I will happily lacerate his front row and then steal the Olgierd. Which, at that point, would be pretty much game.
Everything all right?
He does not have it. Oh, but he does have a buff for Olgierd. Okay, that's nice. I can appreciate that. So what do we do here? Well, we do have a lacerate, which is looking pretty juicy right now. I don't hate it. We cannot go all out on killing Olgierd anymore, unless we do it next turn with the Aromancy into Gaunter. I don't hate that either. But I'm liking this lacerate, so let's go with that. He does get to get his filtering off, but that's our mistake for playing Avalach there. And I definitely should not have done that, but him being without weather is good news for me, I think. And that looks like a pass is coming up. This is not a bad moment to pass for us, I think. I don't see any easy way for him to win this round, unless he commits a lot of resources, so that's a pretty safe pass, I think. Of course I've been wrong before, but there is a Yavin on our side already. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this. Depending on what we keep, of course, but all our Foglets are dead, so that's something. Keeping a 7 is definitely not bad, but I suppose he does get to keep something bigger than 7. I'm thinking we actually want to try and go for an Olgierd steal here. But that might just be a little greedy. That is probably way too greedy, and I should not even think about such things. I like it though. Let's go for the Foglet first. Because it's a nice amount to just slightly edge him out. Make him show his hand a little bit.
I trust no one. Never have.
That is probably fine. They still have to win this round, so... do we just play the Wild Hunt Rider again? It does accomplish the same goal, right? And him having Olgierd in hand... Well, I suppose it does help him keep it safe from a possible steal, but it does mean that it's not really helping them. So Francesca here, alright. Probably fishing for Aglaïs at this point, because that's a rather important card right now. What can we do? Is there anything in his graveyard that we would want to steal right now? I guess stealing a mercenary can't hurt, but what's the best that we're getting out of that? I think there's still a Shroom in our deck. There's a Decoy. Oh, Decoy's not bad. I wouldn't hate seeing a Decoy, to be honest. But the Shroom is a little unimpressive. This might cause him to feel a little safer. We're not getting amazing value out of the Caretaker anyway, so I don't mind committing him for this round. Let's go with the Mercenary into, I guess, the Siege Row. I probably should not have used that on the Siege Row, by the way. And Mutagen on the Wild Hunt Rider, since we would like to keep at least a somewhat sizable unit for the next round. That is a decent strength lead, so should force him to at least commit somewhat of a card. Gaunter... Well, we can commit Gaunter. We basically wanna make him commit some resources here. And that is a decent way to do it. If he frosts, he can't play Olgierd, which is one of the big cards in his hand right now. So I think I like Gaunter here.
I never cheat.
I'm not sure I should be going this hard for the second round though, but I guess it's better than going for third. I still got a pretty good frost here, so that's something. Ooh. Okay, well, I guess one of those guys is dying. Perhaps two even. Not giving us any value with the Gaunter. What is it? Gales. But that's fine. We could fog here and see if we can get Gales to go off that way. But that ruins our chances of stealing Olgerd. But I don't think he's actually going to let that happen. This is probably a fine pass, to be honest. He can just play Olgerd and then... Well, but if he plays Olgerd, that's probably fine, right? Does he have anything in his graveyard that's worth... Not really, right? No. No, not really. We could preemptively Frost. Is that weird? It's making it harder for him to win this round. And then I can... No, but that... No, I think we just pass here. That does mean that I get absolutely no chance of ever using Aromancy on the Foglets. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Was a nice decoy on the Olgerd, so I don't get to steal him. But we weren't going to make that work anyway. If we had Frosted, he would have decoyed him immediately. So
the moment I need to smell.
that is unfortunate. We can safely discard a Griffin, so that's probably okay. He's already used his Elven Healer, so I guess the Lacerate is actually not that worthwhile either.
Oh, I sense
Wondering what good cards he might still have. We have some pretty good cards in our deck still. Let's go and discard one Griffin and the Lacerate, I think. Maybe the Commander's Horn, actually. No, let's discard the Lacerate. I'm actually doubtful that I'm getting a Lacerate on more than one target this round anyway.
Will not save you, Dwan.
Well, if he has one more of those, then I guess we could have, but... So this is looking like a likely Frost. We'll have to see. We have the card advantage, so that's good, but but Gales is actually doing stone cold nothing, which is pretty amazing. But having the card advantage is good, especially with an Aromancy in hand. That's gonna be a big swing, but he's got some pretty good cards, unfortunately. And with that, well, I guess we can just reset him anyway. Let's Griffin here, see what we get. Does not really matter, but let's pick the Lacerate. I think that's his best target anyway. That's some pretty big cards. We can take 9, and we can take 8 right now, perhaps 12 with the Commander's Horn. So we add 12, that's 26. We remove 9, that's 27. So I think we've already lost, actually. Since that's the maximum value we can get out of our cards right now. I think we've already lost. That is unfortunate. I think we actually went too hard in the second round, but we didn't have Commander's Horn yet, did we? And we did draw into that using... Oh, he actually Last Wishes. Okay. Well, that adds nothing, so that's good. But... no cards left in deck. So his last card is Egglice, right? His last card is Egglice. Oh, we can actually Fog. If we Fog with Aromancy, then that's better. But he can Egglice into... Okay, so in that case, we... Commander's Horn the Griffin. Which is really odd. But I think that might be it. We cannot Aromancy. He might not even run Aromancy.
not yet recovered.
I don't think I've... Oh, he discarded it. Alright. So he can Aromancy the Siege Row. Kills the Ancient Foglet. That has to be wrong, right? Because I can now Fog. And this adds 20. Oh my! Oh my! I think we actually did it.
Naivety is a fool's play.
I did not expect to win that one, wow. That has to be wrong, right? If he just Aromancied the siege... he couldn't see my hand, of course, but... I don't know. Alright, so that is it for round 2. Thank you very much for watching. See you for the next one.